In this video, I'm basically posting half of the rolls from this class. So the first roll is with George. Everybody knows George. He's been on the channel since he was a new white belt. One of his first rolls. I'll include that in the description. And we became really good friends in general. And I've given him a lot of advice over the last couple of years and rolled with him quite a bit. So as you can see, he tried to knee slice up the middle. I stopped it by putting both hands on his knee. It happened very quickly. Here he's looking to sit on my frames, which, see, I have no problem with, because when you have the proper frames, when you have your legs, when your knees can come up to your chest, someone can lay on there and it literally takes no effort. I'm not suffering. So as you can see, I'm just playing back and forth, making points of contact. Here I like to do the arm drag, but I also had his leg hooked, which was a little bit experimental on my part. In the back, there's Super Mario and Chris going at it. Chris is a purple belt. Super Mario is a good blue belt. He's been on the channel. So what I like to do is flank. So as you can see, I'm getting to George's side. That way, he only has two options. One, I get the arm drag, and then I could push the arm drag back into him, which I'm doing here. I always say that's like a Tai Chi style movement, and I did it in slow motion. So one is the arm drag, and two would be getting the Kimura. So if he squares up too much with me, I'll get the Kimura. If he stays too sideways, I have the arm drag. That only comes from keeping my body off to the side like that. So I'm rolling with George, who's a blue belt. The next round is Hiram. He's a brown belt. He's really tough, really strong, young and strong like a bull. And then the last round is with Abee. Abee's a, it's hard to say someone's a good white belt, but I think he's a white belt with potential. We have the video on the channel. I'll include all the links in the description. So here I'm just hand fighting with George because I don't feel any real threat. His legs aren't climbing up my back. His left leg's not doing anything. He finally brought his knee in, but it's not in a good position. It should be more towards my center. It would be easier for me to flatten him and pass here. But to be honest, I'm trying to take it easy because I had neurovirus. I don't know if any of you have had it. I know it's going around. It was a nightmare, and I missed a week of training. So I ended up missing one episode because I couldn't get to the gym to record. So here he's pushing me off. I'm starting to put pressure on him. As you can see, I'm clearing that hook. I have his leg pinned with my body weight, right? It's not taking a lot of strength. And I'm trying to pass in a slow and incremental manner. I don't want to rush it. I'm good at rushing it. But I think I get more out of it when I can analyze every inch of what's happening. I always want to be able to do things in a slow and controlled manner, if possible. I love running all around, jumping all around. But I also learned, in many ways, it doesn't improve my jiu-jitsu. And it makes me dangerous. You kick your partner in the face, things like that, just going for broke. So here I'm trying to step over. I'm looking for that step over armbar. He let me get the cross face, so now, I have his hip blocked with my hip, and I let the pressure off there because, in all honesty, I like George, and I don't want to squeeze him into a grape. But I want him to feel the necessary pressure because he's going to have to make a move there. So here he let his right bicep get trapped in front of me, which he shouldn't have done because that's the howdy choke. And then I just jumped over into the mount. Again, not big athletic movements, small controlled movements. Movements that anticipate. So here I'm walking his arm up, and he turned. He didn't want his elbow going over his shoulder, which is smart. And there I went for an arm attack, and then he turned back into me. I jumped to the other side, knee on belly. See, it's good to be transitional. So, again, I'm looking for that howdy choke. But I'm not trying to destroy him. I just want him to know it's there. And that ends the round. So watch our first roll. Like, I mean, if you see, George did a good job there for on someone on his level. He did a good job of countering what I was trying to do. I couldn't just casually do what I normally would do. So that says a lot, I think, for him. But like a lot of blue belts, he needs to develop his offense, his offensive strings, his guard passing, his sweeps. It's not that he's far away from having these things. He's close to having them in a proficient manner. But he needs to work on all of them a bit more to get to that next level. So here, this is Hiram. Hiram's been a brown belt, I think, 4 years. I mean, it's been a long time. I do believe that life took him away from the gym for a while. I mean, I don't know his life story. He's a really good guy, family guy. And as you could see, very thick. I have a couple of videos with him, and you know, he's tough. Got a lot of strength. And also, he's very fast, believe it or not. He has a very better no-gi game as well, I noticed. He's better at no-gi because he uses that speed, and if you can't grab him, he's a bulky guy. So here what's happening is I'm keeping my feet close and I'm shutting down the hand fighting. Again, even with Hiram, what I would do if I was him is grab my legs. He's hand fighting me, my hands, but I want the hand fight. He wants to grab my legs, or at least that's how I see it. He should want to be able to grab my ankles, and then I have to grab his hand. If I'm late, I'm grabbing his wrist after he grabs my ankle. So in the two main passes that he likes, one is this, where he tries to flatten out my hip, and he's good at it again because he's wide, he's thick, he's strong, he's pretty heavy as well, or he feels heavy. I mean, the guy's a brown belt. But as you could see, I'm looking for the Kimura, right? Because he's squared up. See, I have both hands touching his right arm. If I can touch his arm with both hands and he doesn't retreat, see, he's retreating. You can see his arms jerking. He doesn't want me to grab it. But at the same time, he wants to grab me. The problem is I have a 2-on-1 hands waiting for him. So when he comes to grab my head, it's easy for me to, not easy, but it's proficient for me to fend him off. Because my two arms, even though he's strong, my two arms are, I think, maybe about as strong as his one arm. But it's enough to keep him off. So again, I don't know what, don't judge Hiram like I'm looking and say, oh, well, he's not doing a lot. Well, he knows about my legs. We've rolled before. So he's trying to shut down my guard. And he's trying to stop it from the beginning, kind of, which is smart. So he's grabbing my foot. But as you could see, I'm still looking for that right arm. See, he keeps moving it away. And this is what I do every time. See, I don't want him to touch me. So now I'm squaring back up. I still didn't let him grab my head there. He's trying to grab my leg. I have wrist control. See, but look how much better he's doing. Once he started grabbing my legs to pass, now he's in a much more advantageous position. See, he almost kicked my hook off there. Now, we all have different features that help our jiu-jitsu. You can be long and thin like me, and that helps because I can get the hook on him even when he thinks he's out of range. Or you could be short and stumpy, more like Marcelo, who, not stumpy, but, thick. So he can get in and do the X guard easier and things like that. So there I was able to sweep him off with my right leg. If you want to rewind that, my right leg prevented that. And also the flexibility of my knee on the right leg. So as you can see, I have him shelved there, but he's starting to realize he can't pass on his knees. He actually told me this at the end of the round. And he went to his normal, like, here we go. This is Hiram, competing. And he's got, he's quick. He's got good reflexes. But again, I'm just working on his wrist. There I had the spider guard for a second, but he backed out, which is smart. So here he wants to flatten. He's switching passes, right? He was going from a speed pass to his pressure pass. He tried to do a switch there, which was good. Now he's looking to step around. See, I made space. Remember the make space principle? I love that principle. See, here we go. He finally got that angle on my leg. And I have a choke there, but it wasn't solid. I think they call it the ray gun choke. I probably don't know enough details to finish it, but it's definitely annoying. So here he's looking to free that leg. I still have it hooked. And I'm preventing him from grabbing me with his right arm. See, I have two arms on his one arm. So I still have him hooked. It's not officially a pass yet. I think it's coming. He's doing a good job of leg pummeling, and even there I was able to prevent it. I got the hooks back. Here he finally passed. But again, this is a great exchange of technique. If you watch that and you study that part over and over, you'll see all the leg pummeling that was involved and why he won. So here he's got his right hand that's preventing my hip from coming back. Very smart of him. And I think he's looking for some type of choke. But I'm defending. I have my left hand. I'm not answering the phone. I don't really believe in that. But there is a certain position where you can triangulate your hand to your head with your elbow to prevent them from closing up certain chokes, including the triangle. So there I was just messing with him with the north-south, but he did gurgle a little bit there. And it's always good to catch somebody with that, even if I don't finish. Now his head's not where he wants it. Now he's putting his head where he's not used to. It's not the maximum efficiency for what he likes to do, which might be keep his head near my waist. There's Hussein in the background. So more to come with Hiram. Tough roll. So here comes Abee. He is 26 years old. Imagine being 26 years old. I'm only 26 years older than him. I was watching All in the Family recently. Archie Bunker turns 50 in one of the episodes. I found that pretty interesting. I mean, he looked terrible, though. A 50-year-old man in the 70s and a 50-year-old man of today, we've realized our athletic potential a bit more, I think. Years ago, I would be 50 pounds overweight, smoking a cigar. Lucky to be alive. So Hiram and Hussein started rolling, and Abee went to dry himself off with a towel that he subsequently forgot. He's conveying that to me now. So Abee is a white belt. Okay, so I rolled with George the blue belt, Hiram the brown belt, and now this is Abee the white belt. He's good, but not that he's good. Again, he has potential. I could just see it. I could see it in his athletic ability and his balance. And there's a lot of things that I could feel about him. He has all the potential. He just doesn't know the language of jiu-jitsu yet. Right? He's learning the alphabet. He's learning it in little bits and pieces right now. I was talking with Hussein yesterday about the importance of study. outside of the gym. You have to study outside of the gym and not just watch random videos, which is okay. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it should be an organized study. I remember Marcelo, he even had a video about it where he used to say, organize your jiu-jitsu. Because all of our jiu-jitsu tends to be different. But if it's not organized, it just becomes a bunch of random things. And that can work too. But I think it's more efficient to grow as a practitioner if you organize your jiu-jitsu, organize what you like to do. So when you see something that's giving you a problem, look up the video about it. Watch 20 videos about it. Watch them 3 times each. You know, these are the things that a lot of people don't do. They just go to class and they hope they're going to get better. And you know what? It's funny because they get a false positive because it feels like they're getting better because they're getting stronger and more agile, but not using technique. So they're just becoming more of a gorilla, right? They're becoming, so yeah, it seems like it's working, but it's just all muscling. And also you'll notice people like this are always exhausted at the end of the round because they had to use all their athletic ability to dominate. So Abee, I like to give him a little advice. If I could stop the roll in the middle, I told him, do something with that leg. It's just hanging there. Whenever I want, I could turn and pass your guard. I could put pressure on it. I says, pull it out. You know, put your foot on my shoulder. Put your foot on my hip. See? It's much more effective that way. He could push me off. He could control the distance. So if you're in the middle of a roll, how I see it, if I like somebody, I could just stop and say, give them 10 seconds of advice, not a whole theory, just a little bit, like, yeah, just put your foot on my hip in this position, it's hanging. You're unaware. You don't have an awareness that you're not playing a guard, legs are just dangling. And when your legs are dangling, it makes it easy for someone to pass them. You have to have 4 points of contact, if possible. So here I'm in what some call the 1,000-pound position. I always block the hip with my left hand the way I'm doing now. And I'm giving him a little pressure. I'm putting a little bit of my weight on my hands. But I do that to stabilize as well. So if you put all your pressure on someone, it's funny because that's how you end up getting swept many times. So here, we're resetting. And I'm using a position I never would use. I have one arm in, one arm out. And I'm trying to, I explained to him right there, you got the triangle. Now, I know some people are going to make fun of me and say, oh, he had a triangle, and then you started explaining how to finish it. But I told him to do that. He didn't know it was there. There, he likes to do the hip bump, which his hip bump is pretty good. But with the hip bump sweep, you have to set it up. So you have to pull your partner forward. You have to try to get the triangle on. You have to threaten with things. And when he bases back and he puts his head towards the ceiling to avoid your triangle, usually your triangle, then you hip bump him. And don't hip bump somebody straight back. Hip bump them left or right on that angle. Because straight back, you could really hurt somebody's knees, ankles, who knows how flexible they are. But there's a dead angle over each thigh, so you can send them either way. So here I'm showing that he could actually trap both arms by riding his guard up my back, and that leads to, right there, even with both arms trapped, he can finish me with the armbar. See, so I'm explaining if you keep your feet low, there's no danger to me because I could move my arms back and I could posture away from any attack. But if you use your all 4 limbs at once in closed guard, you can arm drag, pull somebody forward, get behind their tricep, and lo and behold, you're on their back. So more to come with Abee. If you find value in my content, you want to help support the channel, I put an X Marshall link in the description. Anything you buy through that link is 15% off with code JITS50, or you could just buy me a coffee. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe.